I still remember the way my phone vibrated that evening. Not rang, vibrated, as if it already knew the call wouldn't bring good news. It was my son, Daniel. "Mom," he said, forcing cheer into his voice, "could you do me a favor tonight?" I was sitting alone in my small apartment, the same one I had downsized after my husband died 3 years ago. The kettle was whistling. The TV played a rerun I wasn't really watching. "What kind of favor?" I asked. "Just babysitting. One night, that's all." I smiled without realizing it. Babysitting meant my grandson, Noah, 5 years old, soft curls, big questions, the only person who made my grief feel lighter. "Of course," I said, "you know I'd never say no." There was a pause. "Actually," Daniel added, "we need you to stay at our place. Noah's asleep already, and it'll be easier." Something about his tone changed. Not fear, not anger, urgency. "Is everything okay?" I asked. Yeah, totally fine. Just, please come soon." I didn't know then that those words would echo in my head for years. Arrival Daniel's house had always felt cold to me, not in temperature, in soul. White walls, sharp corners, furniture chosen for appearance, not comfort. His wife, Emily, had decorated it like a showroom. Perfect, untouched, unlived in. Daniel met me at the door, already wearing his coat. "Thanks, Mom," he said quickly, kissing my cheek. "We'll be back tomorrow morning." Emily barely looked at me. She adjusted her purse and smiled tightly. "Noah's room is upstairs. Please don't go into our bedroom," she said, casually, too casually. I raised an eyebrow. "Why would I?" She laughed, a thin sound, "just saying." Daniel avoided my eyes. That should have been my first warning. The house at night after they left, the silence felt heavier than usual. Noah slept peacefully. I checked on him twice, 3 times, watching his chest rise and fall like a fragile promise. Then I went downstairs. I don't snoop. I was raised better than that. But something felt wrong. The house hummed, not with life, but with tension, as if the walls were holding their breath. I sat on the couch, turned on a lamp. That's when I noticed it. A door, one I had never seen before, at the end of the hallway, partially hidden behind a tall bookshelf. I stood slowly. Daniel had lived here for 4 years. I had visited dozens of times. That door had never been there. The locked door. The door was solid wood. New, too new, and it had a lock. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe a storage room, maybe renovations. But then I noticed scratches. Long, deep, like someone had clawed at the door from the inside. My stomach tightened. I leaned closer, and I heard something. Not a voice, a sound, a faint, uneven breathing. I stepped back, my heart pounding so loud I was afraid Noah would hear it upstairs. "This isn't real," I whispered. I reached for my phone. No signal. Of course. That's when I heard footsteps above me. Slow, careful, from Noah's room. The child's words. I ran upstairs. Noah was sitting up in bed, eyes wide open. "Grandma," he whispered. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" I asked, forcing calm. He pointed toward the floor, toward the hallway. "He's awake again." My blood turned cold. "Who is?" I asked. Noah swallowed. "The man who cries." Part 2. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. I sat on the edge of Noah's bed while he drifted in and out of restless dreams, murmuring words that made no sense to a child his age. "He's cold, Grandma, he's always cold, don't let Mommy hear him, she gets angry." Every time Noah spoke, a chill crawled up my spine. By dawn, my nerves were stretched thin, but my mind was clear on one thing. That door was not imagination, and the man Noah spoke about was real. Morning lies. Daniel and Emily returned just after sunrise. Emily looked annoyed when she saw me sitting at the kitchen table, untouched coffee in front of me. "You didn't sleep?" she asked, not with concern, but suspicion. "Noah had a bad night," I replied carefully. Daniel froze for half a second. Emily noticed. "What did he say?" Daniel asked. "Children talk in their sleep," Emily snapped, cutting him off. I stood up. "I heard breathing last night," I said, "from the hallway, and Noah mentioned." Emily's face drained of color. "Kids make things up," she said sharply. "Daniel, tell her." Daniel stared at the floor. That silence told me everything. The confrontation. Daniel, I said quietly, what's behind the locked door? Emily laughed. Too loud, too fast. Are you serious? You're snooping now? I didn't open anything, I replied, but I heard someone. Daniel finally looked at me, and in his eyes, I saw something I hadn't seen since the night his father died. Fear, real fear. Mom, he whispered, please don't get involved. Emily grabbed his arm. Hard, we talked about this, she hissed. That's when I understood. Whatever was behind that door, Emily controlled it. The noise returns. They left again. Errands, Emily said. Daniel hesitated at the door, turned back to me. If anything happens, take Noah and leave, he whispered so low I almost missed it. Before I could ask more, Emily slammed the door shut. The house went quiet, too quiet, and then, a knock. From inside the house. Not at the front door, from the locked one. 3 slow taps. My heart nearly stopped. The voice. I stood frozen. Then a voice spoke, please, water. It was hoarse, weak, male. I stepped closer, every instinct screaming at me to run. Who are you? I asked. Silence, then, crying. A grown man crying like a broken child. They said she would come, his mother, the voice whispered. My legs gave out. I leaned against the wall. Daniel, I whispered, is that you? No, the voice replied, I'm the one they buried alive. The diary. I ran to the living room, hands shaking. A drawer beneath the bookshelf was slightly open. Inside was a journal. Leather-bound, old, Daniel's handwriting. Page after page told a story I never imagined. A man named Thomas. A former business partner. A lawsuit, an accident. Emily said it was the only way. She said he deserved it. She said no one would ever know. My breath caught. I hear him at night. He's still alive. Noah's drawings. On Noah's wall were drawings I'd never noticed before. A woman with sharp teeth. A man behind bars. A small boy crying. A house with a black door. You saw him, didn't you? Noah asked. Yes, I said. Mommy says if we tell, the house will eat us too. The decision. I called the police. No signal. Then I heard Emily's car. We're leaving, I told Noah. But what about the man? He asked. I promise you, I said, I will come back for him. The door opened. Where do you think you're going? Emily asked. Behind her, Daniel was crying. Perfect. I see you want me to continue and merge parts 3, 4, and 5 into a clean, seamless narrative with no unnecessary spaces, ready for reading or narration. I'll carefully reconstruct it in full detail while keeping all suspense, dialogue, and plot intact. Here's the complete continuation. Part 3. Emily closed the door slowly behind her, as if she had all the time in the world. The click of the lock echoed through the house. Daniel stood a step behind her, shoulders slumped, eyes red, hands shaking. I had never seen my son look so small. Mom, he said, voice breaking, please, don't make this worse. I pulled Noah closer. His little fingers dug into my sweater like anchors. Worse, I said. Daniel, there is a man locked in your house. A man who is alive. Emily sighed, rolling her shoulders. You always dramatize things. That's why Daniel didn't want you involved. I stared at her. No anger, no fear, only control. Emily, I said slowly, who is Thomas? Her smile vanished. Daniel looked sharply at me. Mom, how do you know that name? Because your diary told me. Because Noah hears him crying. Because I heard him begging for water. Emily laughed, hollow. You read his diary? Answer the question, I said. She walked closer, inches from my face. Thomas was a mistake, and mistakes get corrected. Noah whimpered. I stepped back. You kidnapped him. No, she said calmly. We contained a problem. That's enough, Daniel shouted suddenly. I can't do this anymore. I hear him every night. I see him when I close my eyes. I thought if we just waited, he'd stop making noise. You knew he was alive, I whispered. Daniel collapsed into a chair. I didn't mean for it to go this far, he sobbed. Emily said he attacked her. Self-defense. I believed her. Emily crossed her arms. He tried to destroy us. Our money, our future. I protected my family. I looked at Noah. Is this what protection looks like? I heard a thud, then coughing, from the locked door. That's enough, I said. We're opening it. Emily stepped in front. No. Daniel stood. Emily, give me the key. You're choosing her over me? She asked softly. I'm choosing my son, he replied. Emily smiled. You have no idea what you married. She pulled something from her purse, a gun. Noah screamed. Part 4, everyone calm down, Emily said, pointing the gun casually. I don't want to hurt anyone. You already have, I replied. She deserved it, she said. Then she spoke of her childhood, growing up poor, learning early that weakness gets you buried. Thomas was greedy. He wanted to expose our accounts. I invited him over. I drugged his drink. Daniel helped carry him downstairs. Daniel covered his face. I thought he was dead. He wasn't, Emily said, but he became manageable. Noah stepped away. Mommy, he said softly. Emily turned. I don't like you anymore. You're scary. You make people disappear. Emily's hand shook. You don't mean that. I do, Noah replied. Grandma says monsters don't win. Something snapped. Emily raised the gun. A voice roared from the locked door. Don't touch the boy. Emily froze. That moment of hesitation was all Daniel needed. He lunged. The gun fired. Glass shattered. Emily screamed. She was on the floor, blood seeping from her arm. Daniel shook. I'm sorry. I should have stopped you long ago. I grabbed Noah and ran to the door. Daniel tossed me the key. The door creaked open. The smell hit me. Then I saw him. Thomas. Thin. Bearded. Eyes sunken but alive. You came, he whispered. I burst into tears. Part 5, final. The courtroom was silent, heavier than screams. Emily sat in gray, hair tied back, hands folded, calm and collected. She didn't look at Daniel or Noah. She looked at me and smiled. The prosecution laid out the evidence. Photos of the basement, medical reports, emails, financial records. Thomas took the stand. I was kept alive, not for mercy, but because she wanted control. Emily's lawyer tried to twist the story. Mental instability, mutual conflict, Daniel as mastermind. Daniel stood. I helped her. I didn't stop her. I was afraid of losing my life, my money, my image. An innocent man almost died. I am ashamed. Emily laughed. Pathetic. That laugh sealed her fate. The jury deliberated less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Life imprisonment without parole. Emily whispered to Daniel. You were always weak. Weeks later, the truth Emily had threatened surfaced. The house, accounts, properties, never hers. Thomas had transferred ownership to a hidden trust years before. A clause triggered by criminal conviction. Everything reverted. Restitution ordered. Daniel lost the house, but not to Emily. Daniel served time, not decades. Enough to strip away illusions. He attended therapy, wrote letters, learned that love without courage becomes cruelty. When released, he worked quietly, patiently. Thomas survived, reunited with his daughter. He testified in other cases, helping uncover Emily's victims. Before leaving, he said to me, "You didn't just open a door. You ended a cycle." I watched him walk into sunlight, free. Noah stayed with me, at first temporarily, then officially. The judge asked if I was prepared. I smiled. I never stopped. Years passed. Nightmares faded. One night, Noah asked, "Grandma, do bad people always lose?" I kissed his forehead. Not always, but they always tell on themselves in the end. He smiled and slept peacefully. I sometimes pass the old house. New owners, new paint, no locked doors. People ask why I babysat that night. I tell the truth. Because sometimes, love walks straight into darkness, not knowing it was meant to turn on the light. One night, my son asked me to babysit. What I found changed everything, forever.